Other demand elasticities. We refer to the price elasticity of demand as the elasticity of demand. However, there are other demand elasticities that show how the quantity demanded changes in response to changes in variables other than price that affect the quantity demanded. Two such demand elasticities are the income elasticity of demand and the cross price elasticity of demand. As people's incomes increase, their demand curves for products shift. If a demand curve shifts to the right, a larger quantity is demanded at any given price. If instead the demand curve shifts to the left, a smaller quantity is demanded at any given price. We can measure how sensitive the quantity demanded at a given price is to income by using the income elasticity of demand, or income elasticity, which is the percentage change in the quantity demanded in response to a given percentage change in income, capital Y. The income elasticity of demand is xi, she. I'm not clear how to pronounce this letter, but I think it's she. Is percentage change in quantity demanded over percentage change in income. Delta capital Q over Q over delta capital Y over capital Y equals the partial derivative of capital Q with respect to Y multiplied by capital Y over capital Q, where she is the Greek letter. If the quantity demanded increases as income rises, the income elasticity of demand is positive. If the quantity demanded does not change as income rises, the income elasticity is zero. Finally, the quantity demanded falls as income rises, and the income elasticity is negative. By partially differentiating the pork demand function, equation 2.2, capital Q equals 171 minus 20p plus 20ph plus 3p sub c. Excuse me, that equation is restarting the sentence. By partially differentiating the pork demand function, equation 2.2, capital Q equals 171 minus 20p plus 20p sub b plus 3p sub c plus 2 capital Y. With respect to capital Y, we find that the partial derivative of quantity with respect to Y is 2. So the income elasticity of demand for pork is she equals 2 capital Y over capital Q. And our original equilibrium quantity capital Q equals 220 and income capital Y equals 12.5. So the income elasticity is she equals 2 times open parentheses 12.5 over 220 close parentheses, which is approximately 0.114 or about 1/10. The positive income elasticity shows that an increase in income causes the pork demand curve to shift to the right. Income elasticities play an important role in our analysis of consumer behavior in Chapter 5. Typically, goods that consumers view as necessities, such as food, have income elasticities near zero. Goods that they consider to be luxuries generally have income elasticities greater than 1. The cross-price elasticity of demand is the percentage change in the quantity demanded in response to a given percentage change in the price of another good. P sub O. The cross-price elasticity may be calculated as percentage change in quantity demanded over percentage change in price of another good, which equals delta capital Q over Q, and that'll be over delta P sub O over P sub O, which equals the partial derivative of quantity with respect to P sub O, which is price of another good, multiplied by the price of another good over quantity. When the cross price elasticity is negative, the goods are complements. If the cross price elasticity is negative, people buy less of one good when the price of the other second good increases. The demand curve for the first good shifts to the left. For example, if people like cream in their coffee, as the price of cream rises, they consume less coffee. So the cross price elasticity of the quantity of coffee with respect to the price of cream is negative. If the cross price elasticity is positive, the goods are substitutes. Superscript 15, which reads jargon alert. Graduate level textbooks generally call these goods gross substitutes, and the goods in previous examples would be called gross complements. As the price of the second good increases, people buy more of the first good. For example, the quantity demanded of pork increases when the price of beef, P sub B, rises. By partially differentiating the pork demand function, equation 2.2, capital Q equals 171 minus 20P plus 20P sub B plus 3P sub C plus 2 capital Y with respect to the price of beef, we find that the partial derivative of quantity with respect to the price of beef is equal to 20. As a result, the cross price elasticity between the price of beef and the quantity of pork is 20 P sub B over capital Q. At the original equilibrium, where capital Q equals 220 million kilograms per year, and P sub B equals $4 per kilogram. The cross price elasticity is 20 times open parentheses 4 divided by 220 close parentheses is approximately 0.364. As the price of beef rises by 1%, the quantity of pork demanded rises by a little more than 1/3 of 1%. Application: substitution may save endangered species. One reason that many species, including tigers, rhinoceroses, green turtles, geckos, seahorses, pipefish, and sea cucumbers are endangered, threatened, or vulnerable to extinction is that certain of their body parts are used as aphrodisiacs in traditional Chinese medicine. It is possible that consumers will switch from such potions to Viagra, a less expensive and almost certainly more effective alternative treatment, and thereby help save these endangered species. We cannot directly calculate the cross-price elasticity of demand between Viagra and the price of body parts of endangered species because their trade is illicit and not reported. However, harp seal and hooded seal genitalia, which are used as aphrodisiacs in Asia, may be legally traded. Before 1998, Viagra was unavailable. Effectively, it had an infinite price. One could not pay a high enough price to obtain it. When it became available at about $15 to $20 Canadian per pill, the demand for sex organs fell, and the demand curve shifted substantially to the left. According to von Hippel and von Hippel 2002 and 2004, 30,000 to 50,000 seal organs were sold in the years just before 1998. In 1998, only 20,000 organs were sold. By 1999 to 2000 and thereafter, virtually none were sold. A survey of older Chinese males confirms that after the introduction of Viagra, they were much less likely to use a Western medicine. They were much more likely to use a Western medicine than traditional Chinese medicines for erectile dysfunction, but not for other medicinal problems. That's von Hippel et al. 2005. This evidence suggests a strong willingness to substitute Viagra for seal organs at current prices, and consequently that the cross-price elasticity between the price of seal organs and Viagra is positive. Thus, Viagra can perhaps save more than marriages.